Hi, my name's Jeremy Lipkowitz, and you're listening to Unhooked. Today on the podcast, 7 positive changes you'll experience when you stop watching porn. So, stay tuned.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Lipkowitz, and with over 12 years of meditation experience as a mindfulness trainer and coach for high performers, I've become obsessed with helping people break free from compulsive, unhealthy behaviors and addictions and step into a life of true freedom so that they can finally become their best selves and cultivate deeper and lasting fulfillment. I've created Unhooked, the Breaking Porn Addiction podcast, to give you simple, actionable, step-by-step strategies to master your mind and optimize your life. This is Unhooked. So hello and welcome to another episode of the Unhooked podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you today and to have you here on this podcast. Today, I want to talk about what to expect when you finally stop watching porn. What are some of the changes that will come into your life? What are some of the benefits that you'll experience when you stop watching porn? And this is an important topic because the scary truth is that most men don't know what life is like without the influence of porn. You know, most men have been watching since they were so young that they can't even remember what it's like to go for a week or 2 weeks or a month without porn in their life. This is like that old parable or that old proverb of asking a fish, how's the water? And the fish says, what water? You know, it's because we're swimming in this our whole life. We don't know what it's like to be without it. We barely recognize that it's actually even having an influence on us. And this is in part because porn is so normalized in our society, in our culture. It's just assumed that it's normal and everyone watches it. And so not many people take the time to really examine what my life would be like without this. So over the past few decades, especially, more and more people have been speaking out about the negative impact that porn has had on their lives, from problems in their relationships to sexual dysfunctions to a lack of focus, and to that sense of shame that comes when you watch things you aren't proud of. And so for many men, quitting porn can lead to a number of positive changes. So today I want to talk about the top 7 changes that you might see when you stop watching porn. So change number 1, the first thing that you might notice is improved physical strength and vitality. So watching porn, it contributes to that sedentary lifestyle and poor physical health that so many people struggle with. Porn sometimes just feels like this black hole that sucks away your energy. You know, you just feel this sinking feeling, like being pulled down into your porn habit. And after, a porn session, you might just be laying there soaked in your sweat, exhausted, and wondering what you've been doing for the past 1 or 2 hours. But by quitting porn, most men report an improvement in their physical strength and vitality. They become more active and engaged in physical activity, in exercise, in movement. You will literally have more energy in your body because you're not wasting that energy on porn. So you actually feel that strength inside of you. You go to the gym and you can feel like you can lift more, you can move more, you can run longer. And you feel that sense of vitality coming back into you when you give up porn. So that is one of the first things you will start to notice when you stop watching porn, is just how much more energy and strength that you have in your life. Change number 2 that you might start to notice is an improved sense of self-esteem and self-confidence. So one of the most damaging effects of watching porn is that it can lead to feelings of guilt or shame or embarrassment, like you need to hide something or like you're broken in some way. And these can have a negative impact on your self-esteem. They can also, have a ripple effect and lead to things like depression and anxiety and other mental health issues. And by quitting porn, you will start to feel more self-esteem. When you start to shed some of the negative emotions like guilt and shame and embarrassment, You will feel more confident in yourself, more sense of self-worth in who you are. When you start to make those healthier decisions in your life, when you have those moments of wanting to act out, but then you make that decision, say, you know what, this isn't leading me where I want to go. This isn't contributing to my life in any way, so I'm not going to act out. It gives you that sense of self-respect. You start living with integrity, your self-esteem will grow. When you start making choices based on your values and your highest self, your self-esteem will grow. So you begin to feel like the man that you want to be, rather than living like a man who you don't want to be, living your lowest self. So that's benefit number 2, is that improved self-esteem and self-confidence in who you are. Benefit number 3 is an increased productivity and focus. So watching porn can be hugely time consuming. It's a habit that can distract you from so many of your other important aspects of your life, your hobbies, your relationships, your work. And because of the high level of stimulation of modern day pornography, it also leads to brain fog and a kind of numbness in the mind, a fuzziness in the mind. So when you quit watching porn, you start to notice your focus, your ability to concentrate starts to come back. You have more productivity. You can get more stuff done. You can stay focused on your tasks longer. You'll procrastinate less, and you have more mental clarity. Your brain actually just feels sharper. It feels more clear. It feels like waking up from being drunk. You have that kind of wakeful quality, that sharp clarity in the mind, and more focus, more productivity. So this is one of the huge benefits of quitting porn. Even if it's not having an effect on your relationships, or you don't think it is, at the very least, it's having an effect on your focus, your productivity, your time management. So this is the third thing you can expect to see. You'll start to notice is just that brain fog going away and more focus and clarity and concentration coming back into your life. Benefit number 4, the fourth thing you will start to see when you quit porn, is an improved emotional connection with your partners. So porn, it often promotes these unrealistic views of sex and intimacy. And this can lead to dissatisfaction and disconnection from your real life partner. But by quitting porn, you can begin to appreciate and engage in more meaningful and fulfilling experiences with your partner. You can start to build a stronger emotional connection because you're actually connecting with your partner rather than giving all your energy and time into the fantasy world. So porn, another thing that it does is it makes us more irritable and less patient. We have a shorter fuse, and that will have obvious ramifications on your relationships. So when you quit watching porn, your patience grows, your depth grows, your ability to connect with the people in your life grows. You can actually look in the eyes of your partner and be there in those difficult moments rather than just wanting to run away or escape into porn. So that's the fourth benefit, is an improved emotional connection with your partner. Benefit number 5, or the fifth thing that you will experience when you give up watching porn, is increased sexual satisfaction and arousal. This is one that so many of the people I work with talk about, as they notice that their physical attraction to their partner is coming back. Their libido grows, their attraction, arousal, it all comes back. And this is because porn consumption, it leads to a desensitization of the brain's reward system. It makes it difficult for men to experience sexual satisfaction in real life situations. Because when you watch porn, you become habituated to high intensity stimuli that you see on a screen. It's kind of like junk food sexuality, and you end up needing that junk food. It's like you lose your ability to appreciate real world sexuality when you become more habituated to what you're watching on a screen. So by quitting porn, men will often report an increase in sexual satisfaction. They rediscover the pleasure of real intimacy and connection with their partners. So again, on this one, there might be a little bit of a delay as you go through, your detox period, some of the withdrawal symptoms, but within a few days or weeks, your sexual satisfaction, your libido will return. You get back to your natural human state of being aroused by your partner. Benefit number 6 is, this one is just so incredible, is you will improve your sleep. So watching porn, it's so stimulating that it can interfere with a person's ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. And by quitting porn, again, men often report an improved sleep patterns and a better quality of sleep as well. So this obviously has ripple effects. It leads to increased energy, greater overall health. Your immune system is stronger. So instead of staying up late into the night watching porn, you actually give yourself that gift of sleep and rejuvenation. And, sleep is it's so important. It's one of the main aspects of overall well-being. This sleep, nutrition, exercise, and those are so important. And so when you quit watching porn, your sleep will improve. Instead of staying up late into the night, you give yourself time to recover, to rejuvenate yourself. So that is the 6th benefit, is improved sleep. The 7th positive change to expect, and this is probably the most important, and this is one that kept me, really committed to my own recovery in the beginning, was reconnecting with a sense of purpose and meaning in life. Watching porn is such a mindless and unfulfilling activity. It just leaves you feeling empty and unfulfilled. You can waste your whole life lusting after images on a screen and just wanting more and more pleasure. And is it pleasurable? Sure. Yeah, it's distracting. It feels good in the moment, but to what end? When will it be enough, and what's the point of it all? So by quitting porn, men often report an increased sense of purpose and direction in their lives. They start to focus on more meaningful and fulfilling activities. So rather than just trying to escape and numb out and experience more pleasure, men will start to think beyond themselves when they give up watching porn. Questions like, what is my purpose here on this earth? Or how do I want to be remembered by my loved ones? Or how can I contribute to the world in a meaningful way? So this aspect of reconnecting with a purpose or finding a meaning to your life is one of the changes that happens when you make this intentional switch and say, you know what? I'm no longer going to watch porn. I'm going to give up this selfish pursuit that doesn't fulfill me. And in the vacuum that creates, in the space that creates, inevitably this question comes up of, how do I want to live my life? What do I want to replace this with? What do I want to spend my time doing? And that purpose, living from that space of purpose and meaning, is so important for men. It's important for everyone, but for men in particular, there's something about, what it means to be a man, that we need that sense of purpose. We need that sense of meaning to our life. And so this is the 7th change you start to experience, is these questions of how do I want to live start to come in. So those are the 7 positive changes you can expect when you stop watching porn. I don't want to give the impression that, these changes will happen overnight, or that they come, very easily. The path of recovery is not linear, and there's no set timeline. So some of these might come within a few days, some you might experience in a month, and some take longer, and some won't come at all. For some people, some of these come and some of them don't. Like, whatever it is, it's going to be different for you. So just be open to that, but know that these are some of the things that you will start to experience when you really give up watching porn, when you give up this kind of selfish pursuit of just wanting more pleasure all of the time. You start to experience genuine benefits in your life. So I hope that this episode has been inspiring for you. I hope that it inspires you to keep on with your journey of recovery. If you're new to, porn recovery or to No-Fap or this whole topic, then I hope it inspires you to give it a chance. Again, so many people have never had the experience of being porn-free in their life. So my challenge to you is to break free so that you can start to experience some of these benefits. And there are so many other benefits out there as well, things that we didn't even talk about, improved social connections with your friends, more creativity, a lot of different changes come. But these to me are some of the key ones that come early on. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love if you could leave a review. It really helps with the promotion of the podcast. It helps other people find it. So please take that 30 seconds out of your day to go and just drop some stars and let us know your comments, what you think about this podcast. It really does make a difference. So that's it, and I'll see you on the next episode.